Welcome to Ask Logicool, Episode 4. In today's show, we're going to explore the trainer's mind. If you're listening to the audio version of this, it would be a good idea to get the video version, as we're going to do a visual exercise. This topic is related to a question posted by Matt. He wanted to know, how do you keep people focused on the topic at hand? Well, that's a bloody good question, one that every trainer grapples with. The key to this is for them to stay focused. They have to be interested. I'm going to tackle the answer to this over a number of shows, but today I want to highlight the first and most important aspect of this. As a trainer, are you aware of what your audience is thinking and feeling at the same time? To do this, we're going to carry out a little exercise. I'm going to walk around Chatswood Mall. Chatswood is in Sydney. Chatswood is going to represent your average training room full of people. As I wander around, I want you to concentrate on what I'm saying, but at the same time observe clearly what is happening in the group. Most people, especially when they're shopping, are barely thinking of one thing. While I was doing this, I was surprised by the fact that of the thousands of people walking around me, only one person noticed I was carrying an operational video camera. I walked past at least 4 security people who didn't even notice. My camera is black and about the same size as a handgun. I don't think if I walked around with a gun in my hand anyone would have noticed anyway. They were the walking dead. Would you notice? As a trainer, you must notice everything. As a trainer, we have to think of 4 things at the same time. Now, we can't actually do that, as our brains typically can only handle one thing at a time. But what we do to make it seem like we're thinking of multiple things is to flick back and forth very quickly, seamlessly. What are we thinking of then? Well, what we're saying at the time, and that's the content, what we have said, and what we're going to say soon, in other words, our place in the session. We always need to know exactly where that is. We should be thinking of questions we can ask that fit what we are talking about. And we need to be observing the audience and thinking about whether they are getting it, are they confused, etc. And we also need to be constantly reflecting on our own performance. Is our voice volume right? Can everyone see us? Am I scanning the audience appropriately? Is my explanation clear? Should I be writing this point on the whiteboard? All of that is going on at the same time. So all 4 things at the same time. So how are you going? Can you hear my voice and understand what I've said? Or do you get distracted by certain people in the crowd as we walk around? Do you concentrate on a shop and then not hear my voice? You have to practice this skill of multiple thinking. All superior trainers can do it. They know what the audience is doing, they know what they are doing, and they know in advance what they are about to say. So the first secret to keeping the focus, and hence the interest of the audience, is to know what they are doing and thinking and feeling by observing and listening at the same time as delivering the content of the session. If you are picking up cues that they are losing it, then you need to change something quickly. I watch a lot of trainers who can't do this. They can only concentrate on one thing at a time, just like most of our shoppers here. Their idea of observing the audience is when they have stopped talking and the group is doing an activity, now they look and listen. Well, that's too late. Worse still is the trainer who sits down and has a rest when the group starts doing an activity. That's a lost opportunity. So how do you get better at trainer thinking or multiple thinking? Practicing it all the time in the actual training session is, of course, one of the best ways. But there is an even better way that you can do anytime and anywhere. Next time you're out, say shopping, possibly at Chatswood, pay attention to what you're doing, what others are doing, and how they are interacting. In other words, stop daydreaming, look, listen, and observe your surroundings. It will amaze you what is going on. Most people are in a daze. Don't be one of them. As a trainer, you can't afford to be one of them. Now, what I didn't tell you was that at the end of this show, coming up right now, there are some questions. The questions are related to what you just watched. How many can you get right? I'll post the answers in the blog next week. In the next Ask Logicool video, we will look at you, the trainer, and what you are doing and how it affects the focus and interest of the group. Please check out the blog, and remember that good training has nothing to do with luck.